Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be working on this sketch. It's going to come up here in a second, but I got this off of Pinterest. So you can pause here, punch out your shapes. You don't have to use hexagons. You can use whatever shape you want, make it circles, make it hearts, whatever. Just come join me at the table. And we're going to use a Christmas collection. It's by Photoplay. And this collection is called um oh, holiday charm. Okay, so I've already picked out my three papers and we're gonna punch out some hexagon shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna start cutting. I believe I cut each paper at 4 inches, and then I'm gonna have to take a quick stop and I'm gonna show you why. So in the process, my cat decided to come and lay on the desk. So right here, I'm just pointing out to you the sketch up in the right hand corner, and then we get rid of the cat to start putting together our layouts. And 4 inches is enough to be able to use all the punches. Even my 3-inch one will fit, and I'll be able to get at least 1 to 2 out of these strips. And then those are the two photos we're going to be using. We're going to put that to the side and we're going to start punching our shapes. And I know a lot of times we forget about our punches. I don't know about you guys, but I put mine in a drawer. Now here, I'm trying to find like a bulb that can go in the center. And so I found one and took a piece of that with the punch. But I'm doing 4 for this size out of each one of the papers. Now it will leave me with some left over, but I can always do another layout using just the small ones. There are some sketches on Pinterest using the smaller hexagons, and we can use that to use them up on another layout. Now this one is my smallest hexagon shape. And these two with the handles where you just squeeze, I think I got those from Joann's. And I can't remember. I think they were like a group, like a pair, sold as a pair. And then I just recently got the big one that's sitting off to the left. I recently got that in. I used these on a live, which was the last video I've done before you guys seen this one. And I still had them out on my desk, and I was like, you know what? I still want to use them. I think we can do another layout. So that's what we got here. And then I was thinking another good one would be to use like the 3-inch and just cover a sheet with a bunch of hexagons, right? All different patterns from a collection, scraps, whatever may have you, and like just create a base page. But for this one, I'm using a paper from the collection. That's going to be the base that we're going to attach everything to. Okay, so we're just punching out. I'm lining up, and a lot of times I hold it where I can see where it's lining up with the paper, and so I can punch, in the right spots and not have like pieces missing and stuff like that. Okay, so that's what's left over. I'm not going to save those. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. And at first I thought I had forgot to press the record button. I almost panicked. Okay, so I decided, you know what? I really want to use the Catherine Pooler new gold inks. These are pigment inks, but they have the foam. And I'm going to use 3 different sizes on these Tim Holtz stamps. And what we're going to do is I'm kind of going to go around the photo, but I don't want to like cover the whole sheet, right? So I'm just going to create 3 little vignettes with these trees using the gold ink. And we're just going to tap, 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 tap. Now I do notice a difference because the pigment ink is not as juicy as the um dye inks pads, but I did get refills. So if it feels like it's getting a little bit too uh dry, I can re-ink it. So when it comes to pigment inks, especially specialty ones like this, I always suggest go ahead and getting you a refill, because if you're planning on, or you like something that shimmers, you're gonna want the ink pads. Trust me. Okay, so now we're gonna do the second size, tap tap tap, and then we're gonna press down. So that way we have a large tree, the next step down, and then the little baby one. And we're going to stamp again. And we're actually going to wind up doing these trees a few more times. I just wanted to get my basics down on the paper. And then the three, that we're doing right here. And then I'll be able to see, once I start laying everything out, where I want everything to go. You know what I mean? For the other trees. And from what I can tell, this ink does dry pretty quick. There's the three little sections. And then, like I'm pointing out to you, we're going to do some more. But we're going to set this all to the side for now. And let's start laying out our hexagons. Now, these, I'm lining them up so that they're touching. And then we're going to start, because I knew these are going to go in the middle. So I'm going to put one at the bottom with the stripe. And then up at the top, I'm going to put the flip side with the bulbs. And I think this layout part pretty much stays the same except for one thing. That stripe up at the top, I do flip that over when I go to glue it down. But right now, we're just kind of laying everything out the way that we want it to go. So for the month of December, I plan on, for my Friday videos, doing as many Christmas layouts as I can. But I also have other plans as far as the different books to put together. But right now, I am kind of focusing on the cookbook from, is it Simple Stories? Because I want to give it to a friend as a gift, and I'm trying to get it done. But I swear to you, the next video in the series that I'm doing for the Dear Santa album will be coming up this weekend. Okay, so we're getting everything laid out, and I'm really liking how it's looking. And in doing this, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can put another 3 up here in the far left. So each of the corners have the 3 trees. And then the tiny stamp, I'm going to wind up using like in the middle of each of those sections. But I'm going to stamp the one stamp 3 times. And you'll see that here in a second. I'm doing tap, 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 and press down. And then right underneath where that hexagon is going to go, you can see the 3 little trees, and I like how that looked. So I decided to do that again over here on the side. And then one more over on the right. We're going to do it again. And I'm doing sort of like I think they call it generation stamping, where you stamp once and then you just keep stamping because there's still some ink left on the stamp itself. And then it looks sort of like one is faded towards the back. Oh, and while we're doing this, I'm going to clean my stamps as we go. So now, I think I got everything. I'm adding the last few of the punched hexagons. And then I'm going to have, unfortunately, another visitor. Same visitor, but he's going to make another appearance here coming up. And then we're going to start gluing down, because I do not want this cat to wind up messing up my layout. All right, so I'm looking through, trying to find something to do my sentiment with. And I like the sticker book, but I don't wind up using it. I actually kind of forgot about it. And the colors do match. Oh, there's Salem, my cat Salem, the all black cat. And right here, I'm like, you know what? Let's start the glue. Because I'm telling you, if he jumps up and messes my whole, like, what I'm laying down, I would be very upset. Thank God he didn't. So we can keep going and start gluing. So I'm using art glitter glue. And for the most part, I'm not really using my tape on these. I think I wind up using the tape on some of the other bits, but for this right here, I'm just going through with the glue and putting that down. Okay. Ooh, my eyes itchy. Okay. So while we're doing that, if you guys have any questions or if there's something, a technique that you want to see, especially because of the holidays, you know, my favorite time of the year now is to do stuff like heat embossing and stuff like that because it just looks really pretty on Christmas projects. So if you guys have anything that you want me to try and incorporate as we do some of these, I've done a few times like heat embossing on layouts, but I can show you, you know, again, how to do that. If you want to see how to use stuff like this gold pigment ink, using it with stencils and, you know, maybe hit embossing with that. Because the one thing about pigment inks is you can heat emboss because they stay wet a little bit longer than regular inks. Okay. All right, and we're getting close here. We're almost done. At least the one side is definitely almost done. And then we'll still have to glue down a few others over here on the right. And if you wanted to, I didn't because this paper is super thin and I didn't want to overpower it anymore. And here he comes again. I'm like, cat, you just want to be on camera today. But if you wanted to, you could also put some with foam underneath them to give a little added dimension. The foam I know makes it heavier and I don't want it to uh the paper, like for example with the wet glue that I use, the paper kind of warped itself, and so if you put foam on it, it's going to warp again because it's going to be heavier on one side, or you know what I mean. So you just have to really play with your stuff and see how it feels. Maybe if you have a thin piece of foam, it could work, and then that way it doesn't overweight everything down. Because I noticed when I use foam on my photos that it made the center buckle a little bit too. All right. So now for the photos, I'm going to grab some craft paper and I'm going to make the craft paper 6x4. And then we're going to wind up trimming down the photos because they wind up being really close to the same size. And I just wanted a little border around it. And there's enough open space that we could trim and you weren't going to lose anything on the pictures. And this is one of my favorite uh, inspirational models for my layouts. This is my bestie's grandson. He's so adorable. And I've had these are the same like Christmas photos I had of him from last year. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be crafting them. I have a few Christmas photos like the lights and stuff like that. Some older stuff that I may scrap, my favorite movies, stuff like that. So, but I had these already printed and they were already sized, so it's perfect. It was perfect. And I love this collection. There's something about it almost feels antique, not antique. I think that is the word that I want, but it just feels very retro. And so I just like the color, how it's got that little like warm tone, kind of like a, what is it? A golden, just warm tone. Yeah, that's the only way I can explain it. So, which is surprising because a lot of times, I mean, I like photo play, but I don't always get a lot of their stuff, especially lately because I've been really in love with 49 and Market, and to the point where I'm almost solely wanting to focus on their stuff because it's just so beautiful. But this one, actually, I'm glad I got it. Oh, I'm going to use our puffy stickers here. These are from Doodlebud, and they're part of the alphabet soup. And I have the gold and the black. I'm going to pull those two out for our title, which is just going to be Merry Christmas. Because with this collection, there were some titles and like the sticker sheet, but I didn't catch that until the end. And I was like, you know what? It's okay because I can just do the words, which I did with the puffy stickers. But don't forget about the sticker sheets, you guys, because you can always use your powder on the back and turn it from a sticker to basically like a piece of ephemera and then use that for a title. So here I'm pulling out the black alphabet soup and we're going to do the word Mary. And of course, you know, it's not a video unless you start having issues with your adhesive, right? So I wound up having to stick it with a pin. I want to say 2 or 3 times here trying to get it back open because I had it sitting out, but I finally was able to get it to put a little bit of glue behind the letters, which I highly suggest because sometimes the letters don't have that good of adhesive behind them, and you really don't want to give this to somebody or, you know, put it up and then you look and all your letters are off. It's like, what? What just happened, you know? Especially after you do all this hard work. And then now, okay, yeah, I'm getting ready to do the Y, and then we're going to do the Christmas in the gold. So you'll see Merry Christmas. And I did them, well, at least one of the words in black because I wanted to draw your eye to it. And then the gold, even though everything sort of has that goldish tint to it on the background, I think the gold, because it's shiny, the stickers, the alphabets, uh, it helps it to stand out. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep putting our glue down. And if you guys haven't followed me for a while, you know I'm affiliated with my little scrapbook store. And for the month of December, our challenge there is a bingo board. I've always liked the bingo challenges that we do on our different crops. And since I was over the challenge for the month of December, I told Jessica I was like, can you send me your bingo board? And thankfully she was willing to, and we were able to create a cool challenge, a bingo challenge over there. So the links are down below. Make sure you click on over, ask to join the group. It's so much fun, and I love the fact that they have so many challenges and things to create your, like, get your creative juices flowing, and it's just a really good community. So now I'm going through the ephemera, and I'm going to put that December up at the top. And then they had a hexagon in the ephemera. So of course I'm going to have to use that. And then I like the heart, and so we're going to wind up putting just a few hearts around. And then I was going to put this long piece there, but I decided, I was like, oh, this is when I remember that I had the sticker sheet. And so I'm going to bring it over, and it turns out they do have a tab. So I'm going to go ahead and put that tab right at the top and go ahead and just glue that down. And then I'm not sure about that December at the time, so I kind of pulled it down. And then I'm looking through trying to figure out what's going to be the best uh for me to put up at the top. And I was looking at my phone to make sure, does it have anything up at the top? No, it doesn't. So it didn't matter. But I don't know why. That's my newest obsession is either on the top left or the top right. I'm going to put a little, either a cluster or something up there. I don't know. I just noticed lately that I've been doing that a lot. But it's okay. All right. So we're just adding the ephemera piece that we had taken out of the ephemera pack. And now I'm just looking to see, I have, yeah, the 2 hearts down. And I think I wind up doing a 3rd heart up towards the top by that December because I do wind up using it. And then I also wind up using a sticker that says joy. I was going to put Santa there, but I was like, it's too many Santas. One Santa is enough. All right. So I think I wind up putting these down and I was like, you know what? Let me get it off the sticker sheet. So I'm going to use joy and just put that in that open space. So that way it's sort of like December joy. And then we're going to glue that down. And then, yes, that red heart up at the top, I am going to wind up putting that there. A little bit of wet glue and then boop. So now we have 3 hearts, making sort of like a triangle right in the center. And I think that's everything. So for this one, because there's so much going on, I'm going to go ahead and do my splatters. And I wind up using, instead of the bright yellowy gold, I grab this cream gold from Nuvo. And I think this is like the perfect tone of gold with the Catherine Pooler ink and with the tonal quality of the base paper. And I am not going to lie, I splattered like crazy because I just thought it was so pretty. And now we're going to grab the black and we're going to hit it. I'm using this tool from Pink Fresh. I don't think it's Pick a Fest. I think it's Pink Fresh. And it's the pickup tool, but sometimes I hit it so hard, I'm like, or I'm tapping it so much, it starts to loosen and it doesn't splatter the way I like at that point. Sometimes I like just using my fingers, like just tapping it. And you'll see me do that with the white here that's coming up. I'm just showing you what that item was. And then now I'm just going to tap, tap, tap with my finger. Now this bottle is getting very empty, but no worries. I have a backup. I can't even help myself. As soon as I saw it was getting low, I immediately went to the store, my little scrapbook store, and added it right to my order because I was like, there's no way I can be left without white picket fence for my splatters. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and share button, of course. And like I said earlier, leave comments down below if there's any special techniques that you'd like to see throughout the series or even just in my channel, on my channel in general. That definitely helps inspire me as well so I can make sure I continue to bring you guys some good content. Okay? Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.